Welcome to the third part of the lecture series on Beowulf. In this last section of the poem, Beowulf confronts his third and final antagonist. While the poem's account of this conflict resembles the two previous conflicts in several respects, it's marked by strongly apparent differences. First of all, Beowulf's goal in this conflict is different from his objective in his two previous fights. In them, his goal was to help Hrothgar, thereby establishing his heroic credentials. However, he is drawn into his final conflict unwillingly, in contrast to the active quest for glory that pits him against his first two antagonists. Typological allusions are also present in this work, reinforcing the typological details in the first two sections. In addition to being a creature of Germanic lore, a dragon resembles the serpent who figures prominently in the story of Satan's temptation of Eve in Genesis. The dragon in Beowulf also typologically recalls the dragon who is a key figure in the final battle between good and evil in Revelation, the last book of the Bible. Much has occurred in Beowulf's life since he last left Hrothgar's court and the land of the Danes. His former lord Elegiac has died, and Beowulf has become king of his tribesmen, the Geats. Just as the opening section of the poem contains a description of the process that has resulted in Hrothgar's becoming king of the Danes, this final section explains in detail the events that have resulted in Beowulf becoming king of his people. Whereas Beowulf has fought primarily for personal glory in the first two sections, he's fighting now to defend his people against the dragon whose fury has been aroused when a thief broke into his lair. His final boast emphasizes his personal valor while underscoring his devotion to his tribe. This third section has an elegiac tone. That is, the contents of this part of the poem stress sadness and inevitable fate that is characteristic of Anglo-Saxon poetry. However, Christian elements can be seen in this section as well. Just as the first part of the poem begins with a description of the funeral of a Danish king, this section closes with a description of Beowulf's own funeral.